People believe retirement is something that takes 40 years of grinding, working until you're too tired to enjoy life. But what if I told you it could happen in just 12 years? And not with some crazy lottery ticket or risky scheme, but with as little as $500 a month. I know, it sounds too good to be true. But once you see the math, the milestones, and the mindset behind it, you'll realize it's not only possible, but it could be your path to financial independence faster than you ever imagined. Now, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about building wealth and living life on your own terms, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. That way, you don't miss any of these game-changing strategies. All right, let's kick off things with the first topic: the problem most people face when it comes to retirement. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are stuck in the traditional model of retirement. They spend 40 years trading time for money, hoping that someday a pension, Social Security, or a company 401k will finally let them breathe. But that system is broken. Pensions aren't what they used to be. Social Security is under pressure, and relying only on your employer leaves you vulnerable. Imagine this. Someone saves $200 a month, diligently, for decades. They feel proud because they're doing something, but after 20 years, the account feels stagnant. Why? Because they're missing two key elements: scale and compounding power. They're saving, but they're not investing in a way that multiplies. And psychologically, seeing slow results discourages them, making them quit right before momentum starts working. Here's the irony. The hardest part of compounding isn't math, it's patience. The early years always feel too slow. It's like planting a tree. Months go by and nothing seems to change. Then one season it suddenly explodes with growth. That's why so many people give up. They think, this doesn't work for me. But it's not that it doesn't work, it's that they haven't given it enough time. And that's where the $500 plan changes everything. It compresses decades into just 12 years by combining consistency, growth, and strategy. All right, moving forward, let's dive into the rule that makes this entire plan possible: the $500 x 12 years formula. The formula couldn't be simpler, yet it's incredibly powerful. $500 a month, invested consistently for 12 years with average annual returns of 7% to 10%. And this isn't a fantasy number. It's a realistic benchmark backed by decades of stock market history. Here's how it works. In the first year, you've put in $6,000. After a few years, you might only see $30,000 to $40,000 sitting there, and it feels like a drop in the ocean. But this is where most people misunderstand compounding. The early years look unimpressive because the growth engine is still small. It's like pushing a snowball. At first, it barely grows, but once momentum builds, it becomes unstoppable. By year 6, your contributions total $36,000, but the account might already be $50,000 to $55,000. By year 10, you've put in $60,000, but the account has doubled or more, sitting closer to $100,000. By year 12, you're not just hitting six figures. The compounding effect is finally working so hard that your money is generating thousands of dollars a year on its own. The key isn't just the math, it's the structure. $500 isn't random. It's enough to accelerate compounding, but also achievable for many people who can adjust their spending. Cut back on luxuries, reallocate, and suddenly you have the capital to fuel freedom. This isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about designing a system where 12 years from now you can cover your basics without needing a boss, a job, or anyone else controlling your time. Now that you understand the $500 x 12 years foundation, let's talk about the 3 levers that take this from possible to powerful and make this plan even faster. Lever 1. Gradually increase contributions. The magic isn't in staying at $500 forever. Imagine that after 2 to 3 years you're making more money, so you bump your monthly contribution to $700. Later, maybe $1,000. These incremental upgrades shave years off the timeline because each dollar you add now compounds for the rest of the journey. Lever 2. Reinvest everything. The temptation when dividends or small profits roll in is to take the money out. Don't. The power of compounding only shows itself when every cent is recycled back into the system. Think of your account like a machine. The more fuel you keep inside, the faster it grows. Lever 3. Use tax shelters and low-fee ETFs. People underestimate how fees and taxes eat into growth. By focusing on index funds, ETFs, and accounts with tax advantages, you can boost your net return without working harder. It's silent growth, invisible, but it compounds massively over time. Combine these 3 levers, and suddenly 12 years doesn't just look achievable, it starts to look conservative. You might shave it down to 10 or even 9 years if you stay consistent and disciplined. Before we move on, let me share something special we're building for you. It's called the Trip to Wealth Command Center, a simple but powerful Google Sheets system that puts your entire financial life in one place. It tracks your income, cash flow, spending, and net worth. But it's more than a tracker. It's a strategy hub. You'll see exactly where your money is going, how it is growing, and how both streams fuel your compounding engine over time. It's still under construction, but you can already join the early access waitlist today. Getting in early means you're supporting the launch, plus you'll lock in an exclusive discount. The link is right below. Don't miss your chance to be part of the very first group to get access. Let's move on to the next part, the 12-year milestones you'll face, and why sticking through them is the hardest, but most rewarding part. Here's how the journey usually unfolds. Year 3, frustration. Let's say you've invested around $18,000, but your account may only be worth $20,000 to $22,000. The growth feels microscopic. This is where most people quit, thinking it's not working. Year 6, the shift begins. You've contributed $36,000, but your account might be at $50,000. The curve is no longer flat. It's starting to bend upward. Still, you need patience. Year 9, the magic starts. With contributions around $54,000, your balance might exceed $80,000. Now growth starts to feel visible. Instead of adding a few thousand a year, the account itself might generate $6,000 to $8,000 in returns. That's like an extra month's salary every year without lifting a finger. Year 12, breakthrough. You've contributed $72,000, but your account is easily in the $120,000 to $150,000 range. At this point, the snowball is rolling downhill on its own. The returns alone could cover basics like housing, groceries, or even replace a part-time job. The big danger is that most people never make it past year 3 or 4. They see slow results, lose faith, and give up, right before the acceleration kicks in. Those who endure, however, see the reward. Financial independence isn't some distant dream. It's within reach in just over a decade. All right, let's move on to the next topic, the mindset shift that makes this work. Most people still believe retirement equals age 65. That's wrong. Retirement isn't an age, it's a number. The moment your investments cover your expenses, you're financially free, whether you're 30, 40, or 55. This shift is crucial. If you define freedom as an age, you'll always feel trapped, waiting for the right time. But if you define it as a number, suddenly you're in control. Maybe for you it's $1,500 in passive income. For someone else it might be $4,000. The number is personal, but the formula to reach it is universal. Consistency plus compounding plus time. Here's what happens when you embrace this mindset. Every sacrifice, every $500 you put in, no longer feels like deprivation. It feels like buying your freedom back. Every dinner you skip, every unnecessary gadget you don't buy, is another step closer to independence. Think of it like this. You're not trading money for stuff. You're trading money for time. And time is the one resource you'll never get back. Once you see money as a tool to buy time instead of things, the entire game changes. Your savings rate stops being a burden and starts being an engine. And here's the beautiful irony. The people who live with this mindset often end up enjoying more luxuries in the long run because they buy them guilt-free, knowing their foundation is secure. Freedom first, lifestyle second. This isn't about being rich in the flashy sense. It's about reclaiming your life, your energy, your choices. And the truth is, you don't need millions to feel free. You just need enough to stop worrying. Anyone willing to stay patient can achieve it, but very few actually do because most never make this shift. Now, moving forward, let's get practical and talk about the roadblocks that can derail your plan and how to beat them. Everyone loves the idea of retiring in 12 years, but let's be real. The path is full of roadblocks. If you don't prepare for them, they can derail you before the finish line. Roadblock 1. Lifestyle creep. You start making more money, and instead of raising your contributions, you raise your spending. The car gets bigger, the vacations get fancier. This steals years from your retirement clock. The solution? Automate your investing. Pay your future first, and only then upgrade your lifestyle. You'll be surprised how quickly you adapt. The money you never see is money you never miss. Roadblock 2. Market downturns. At some point in those 12 years, the market will fall. It's not if, it's when. Most people panic and pull out their money, locking in losses. But if you stay invested, downturns actually accelerate your compounding because you buy more shares at lower prices. Think of crashes as sales on wealth, temporary discounts on your future. The patient investor wins while everyone else panics. Roadblock 3. Doubt and isolation. Maybe your family doesn't get it. Maybe your friends think you're crazy for skipping nights out or driving your old car longer. Doubt is contagious. To beat it, surround yourself with a wealth-minded community, books, podcasts, and channels like this one. Fill your environment with voices that reinforce your goal instead of tearing it down. And here's one more hidden roadblock: your own impatience. The hardest battle isn't with the market or your paycheck. It's with yourself. Some days you'll question if it's worth it. Some months you'll want to give up. But if you push through those moments, you build not only wealth, but resilience. Each of these roadblocks is a test, and the truth is, wealth isn't built in perfect conditions. It's built in the messy middle, when you keep going despite the noise, despite fear, despite temptation. Beat these obstacles, and your 12-year plan transforms from theory into reality. All right, moving forward. Let's recap everything we've covered today. Let's bring it all together. The idea that retirement requires 40 years of work is outdated. With the right system, you can compress it into just 12 years, starting with as little as $500 a month. First, we exposed the problem. Most people quit too early because compounding feels slow at the start. They save but don't invest strategically, and they never give the process enough time to mature. Then we introduced the formula. $500 a month, 12 years, invested in growth assets with 7 to 10% returns. This structure alone builds a six-figure portfolio that can change the way you live. From there, we added the levers. Increase contributions as income grows, reinvest every dollar, and use tax-efficient, low-fee investments to maximize returns. Small adjustments like these accelerate the journey far beyond what most people expect. We then walk through the milestones: the frustration in years 1-3, the bend in the curve by year 6, the real acceleration by year 9, and the breakthrough at year 12. Next came the mindset shift. Retirement isn't an age, it's a number. Once your investments cover your lifestyle, you're free. That shift alone reframes every financial decision as a trade between stuff and time. Finally, we faced the roadblocks: lifestyle creep, market downturns, doubt, and impatience. These obstacles are inevitable, but with the right strategy, automation, discipline, and surrounding yourself with the right influences, you can push through them. It's not magic, it's math. And if you stay consistent, the payoff isn't just money, it's freedom. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. It is important to conduct thorough research and consult with financial professionals before making any investment decisions. The value of investments can fluctuate, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always assess your risk tolerance and investment goals before allocating your capital. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below, especially if this video made you think differently. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.